designed to stop the enemy. The Caltrop is a sturdy, simple, now, the Caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the Caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the Caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. We don't mind, we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. We don't mind, we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Good evening and welcome to the official Caltrop show. I know you guys just got a little bit of a bonus of an argument. I don't know if many of you have seen me like that, but that's how Calderese usually is. I've been playing really nice with a lot of people. And nice is over. So if you haven't seen that, 6:15, it was started about 6:17 earlier today. I did an interview with the soon-to-be president of the Brick Republican Club on why they didn't get the results that they were looking for in the election. So if you're interested, listen, if you're interested in politics, period, listen to that interview because it gives you an insight of what these people inside the establishment little machine horseshit, think. And the bottom line is, I don't know if they actually do think. If we're after that conversation, I'll be honest with you. Listen, he came on. It was I liked the fact that he came on, but I don't think afterwards they fully understand what exactly took place. So we're gonna see what happens from there with them. But once again, everybody, welcome. And I don't have, because I was doing that at 6:00 today, I did not have the time to set up a pre-planned Mike's Right, shut up and listen. I'm going to do a very quick one. And it's going to touch base on something I spoke about on Monday, but we have a great show for you. As always, the Caltrop is not just going to bring you the same old garbage. It was a topic that struck a nerve, and I got a lot of comments on, and especially from my Friday guest, Mike. Mike wanted to, he had some issues with my monologue on Monday, and I love it. So I love having him on the show. He's going to be here kind of discussing it and all that stuff. And we haven't, listen, there's a lot going on. We have, I didn't touch on the DC shooting of the National Guards. We're going to talk about that. We have Trump's response to it. I actually have some new footage. I don't know if you saw it. I'm sure you have, of one of the guardsmen returning fire. The video is kind of crazy. I tried, screen recording it more than once. So it's still a very quick video, but I have that for you. But we have a great show for you tonight. So let's officially get it started with the Mike's Right, Shut Up and Listen. All right, so I don't have anything really planned for this, but this is what I'm going to say. And I'm going to let Mike kind of come in and tell me where he has a problem with this. Monday, I did a show, and the idea was, would there be world peace if there was no religion? And I think I discussed the essence of humanity, on how certain people say that we were good by our nature, and some people say that we're bad by our nature. And like I said, some say that philosophers say the life of early human was violent, brutish, and short. And I touched on a lot of that thing in human nature and what peace and what lack of peace I guess religion has produced. And Mike had a problem with that. And I love that he had a problem with it. So I'm going to bring him on to kind of discuss this with me tonight. Obviously, fresh Mike, what was the name you had on Tuesday? Was it Slapmaster Mike?
Yeah, well, that's, because the sports thing and power slap and all that. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, I wasn't sure if I should call you Slapmaster Mike for the rest going forward, or fucking
No, man, I'm not
white-ass
wearing
Mike. So
the. Look,
you're
man, I'm
still
not in
my
the
fucking white
Slapmaster
ass Mike.
gear. Yes, I'm not in the Slapmaster gear right now. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. You gotta,
Oh, so the Slapmaster gear
Yeah.
is the shirt, the bucket hat, the glasses.
the whole thing, Slapmaster gear. You know what I mean?
Got you. All right, I feel you. So good. So we have the official fucking white ass Mike in the building right now. You look wonderful. I got to tell you. I mean, you look wonderful. Is that from all the Thanksgiving Day food that you ate there, buddy? How was your Thanksgiving, kid?
That is, man. Actually, Thanksgiving was wonderful, man. You know what I mean? I love it. It's everything I wanted it to be. I did my first spatchcocked turkey. You know what I mean? I spatchcocked that some bitch up.
I can make a lot of
should've-
jokes on spatchcock, and I don't know
know,
what it
I
is,
know.
but I'm horny. You got me horny 7 minutes into this show, Michael.
It was wonderful, man. It was like the best turkey I ever made. No kidding. It was crazy.
I'm gonna look at my
shockingly
wife
crazy.
tonight when the baby
Yeah.
goes to sleep and say, "You want to get spatchcocked?"
But that's literally, it means removing a spine. So you don't want to take her.
Oh,
spine out.
okay.
So
But
it's brutal.
it sounds it's kind of like the French, right? It sounds way nicer than it actually is, whatever their language.
Check out. So this is what I did with my bird, dog. Right. So we have a 14-hour soak. It's called a wet brine, but a 14-hour soak. I use fresh herbs, salt, pepper. Then you pull that thing, and secret ingredients I won't tell you. Then you pull that thing. Then you take your poultry shears and you literally cut the spine out of the thing. You rip the spine out of it, right? Then you flatten it as flat as it can be. You put some kosher salt on it. I know you're a fan. And then you slide it in the fridge and you let it dry for about 8 hours. Let that skin dry so it crisps up nice.
Ooh,
Then you
look at
pull it.
you,
Then you
bro.
put the
Whoa.
herb butter. Then you pull it in the morning. You put all the herb butter under the skin and kind of massage that herb butter in under the skin. Then I covered it in bacon. Then you put it on 450 for about 75 minutes, and you come out with the best turkey you ever had in your life, dog. So, had a 90-year-old lady say it was some of the best turkey she ever had in her life, and I've cooked this. This is my grandma.
I've never
cooked her
had good turkey
before, and she never said it was that good. So she's like, "This is the best turkey." So
I got to give my wife
I'm
a little
down.
credit. My wife could make it tasted very good. It's just turkey's got that very dry texture that you have to lather
Not when I
gravy
cook
all
it,
over.
but
the
I
fuck,
hear
you know?
you. Not when I cook it, but I hear you. I hear you.
I mean, we've tried it every other way. It's always dried out to me. No matter who cooked it, no matter where I've ever gone, everyone says, "No, Mike, I have the greatest turkey recipe," and I try it, and it's like, it's less dry, but it's still fucking dry.
No, that's wrong. But that's because they didn't flatten it out. They didn't cook it right. Look, man, you don't even know, bro. It's fine. Like my
So you know what
turkey's
it
the
is?
kind of
We
turkey
have-
you don't even need gravy, and that's why a lot of turkey comes with gravy fare. With my turkey, you don't need gravy. It's still delicious, buttery. You know what I mean? The
Oh,
next day,
dude,
you're
I
like,
gotta have
holy
it.
shit.
Now-
this is awesome.
Now we're doing Thanksgiving. Next Thanksgiving, we have a date, Mike.
uh,
Me and you. I need some of that bird in my life because I want you to prove to me, bro. Because you know what? The bottom line is, the ham I love. My wife does unbelievable things with ham. I eat it. I'll be eating ham for breakfast. So put it this way: my Thanksgiving went like this. I didn't know that we needed that much food for 4 people.
Oh wow.
I didn't realize it. Like my wife, she cooked like my parents were coming, like my brother and his family was coming, like all of our cousins were coming, like aunts, uncles, relatives, neighbors, people on 3 streets over may have been coming to this. You know, the neighbors down the street and the block and a couple people over. Like when I tell you she cooked for 9 football fucking teams, I didn't think it was that much, right? So I had the baby, she's cooking, I'm playing with the baby, and we're having a good time. And then finally, the baby, like me and the baby, sat down, and he never sleeps on me, but me and him were just assed out like this for like an hour. And then
Nice.
I had to wake up at 2:30 in the morning to go get my son, who was drinking for the first time. Wednesday,
Yeah.
just turned 21. Wednesday night before Thanksgiving is a big college night out.
Oh yeah.
He was in an area where it's known to party, where the Jersey Shore went all the time, Seaside Heights. And I told him early on, I said, "Listen, if you guys get fucked up, I don't want anybody even, coming close to driving or you guys spending that much money on a Uber. Give me a call.
Sure.
So sure enough, called me at 2:00 in the morning. Hey, can you come get me an Uber $70? Like, okay, so I'll charge you 45, and we're good.
Plus, man, I mean, that's a good relationship with your pops, right?
Oh, dude,
I
it's
mean,
awesome. And I drove him and
yeah,
his friend
man.
home. Yeah, I'd rather them do that than anything else. Dude, go get fucked up, have fun, and I'll come pick you up. And I wasn't sleeping, so I was like, I was kind of expecting it when I tossed it out there. So it's kind of like setting the alarm clock with me. You
Right.
set the alarm clock, and I'm like up staring at the phone. What time is it? Like if I set an alarm for 6:30, I would wake up every day at 6:30 on the dot. Doesn't matter because my body has to pee at 6:30 every day. But if I
Can-
set an alarm for 6:30, I'm going to be up at 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, staring at the clock, and then I won't be able to go back to sleep. So it was like kind of like that. And then I took him home. So when the baby woke up, she took the baby, and I kind of passed back out for like 3 hours. I needed it. I've been working hard. And then I wake up to walk into the kitchen, and we have this big island. And dude, it is, the big trays of shit. It's a full tray of lasagna, or I mean, not lasagna, it's a full tray of mashed potatoes, a full tray of stuffing, um, green beans, turkey, ham. What the hell? What was it? The sweet potato. Like it was like 9 different dishes, bro. I can't even name them all. I was drunk. And I couldn't even go back for seconds. My plate was so full, I couldn't even fit the stuffing on there. And she does the stuffing with the sausages inside of it. It's fucking so good.
Ooh,
It's so good, dude. So then we ate, and then I fed. Dude, if I should upload what Valentino ate, I don't know how. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna as you're talking, I'm gonna put this up at some point. He had turkey, green beans, mashed potatoes, and homemade mac and cheese, dude. Once again, I couldn't even. There was more dishes, and there were full, big, giant trays of them. I don't know who she was cooking for. We have food for every. If you want food, please, I will package it and I will send it to you. 19.99. You'll have a dinner, ready-made dinner. I will send it to you. Email me at mikec@centercutmedia.com if you would like it. 19.99. You have a dinner and it's homemade. It's delicious. We have a lot. It's gonna go to waste. But dude, the baby had his whole little dish had a lot on it, and he
yeah.
hammered all of it down. Oh, this kid.
Really?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah. So I got.
So
I
what
got.
kind of meat? So I know you don't like turkey. Did your wife make a turkey anyway?
So
Did you
yes,
do
we had a
ham?
turkey.
Like,
We had a
okay.
turkey. We had turkey ham. The turkey was, like I said, the turkey tasted very good. It was just dry for me. But with the with the I'm putting my plug in my phone. With the gravy, it tasted very good. The gravy was delicious, dude. Everything tastes really good. But I'm still I like the ham. I like the I like the stuffing, dude. That's the part of Thanksgiving that I like is that.
Yeah, no, the ham is always amazing, bro. And every family kind of has their traditional side dish. For my family, my mom makes this broccoli cheese casserole, right? And I
Okay.
love it, and it's something that I don't really get anywhere else. I haven't seen, too many places everywhere else. And I love it. So absolutely, bro. Then yeah, man, it was wonderful. Watch the Cowboys win. Because the NFL is fixed. So, I mean, come on. If you ever thought, is the NFL fixed? You know what I'm saying? Yankee said he's going to get some food from you.
Dude, you
Um,
cannot complain that the Eagles or the Chiefs didn't get calls. I mean, give me a fucking break. They have gotten every call.
I know,
The
man.
Chiefs have gotten every call for the last 7 years, and the Eagles have gotten every call for the last 4. Come on.
Here's the thing. The NFL is fixed. It's been fixed for a long time. And whoever was, running the thing, calling the plays, switching the gears, that dude was, and for some reason, the fix was in for the Chiefs. And now the Chiefs are out. Now it's somebody else. You know what I mean? The Chiefs are clearly out. They're done. I mean, look, man, they played San Francisco. They were down by what? 2 touchdowns in the half. This was 3 Super Bowls ago. And then they come back and win by a field goal in overtime, just like yesterday, right? everything is so like for the Instagram, right? Let me explain that one to you. Okay, so first quarter, they they get a Mahomes to Kelsey fourth down touchdown. Right before that, on the third down, they do a basic hand it to the running back, let him bounce off the line and sit down bullshit, right? So the frustrating part there is that they had to go on fourth down and toss it to Kelsey. And then, of course, they cut right to Taylor Swift. And then, homeboy Mahomes' family in the crowd. And I'm like, this is so cheap, bro. They've decided, man, anyway, NFL is fixed. I got kicked out of my fantasy football league anyway. So,
Why is
I
that?
literally got kicked out of my fantasy football league because the guy who runs it, I was the only white dude in it. The guy who runs it is a crazy, pro black liberal. And, he would like tag me and all this shit. You're a pedo protector and you defend pedos and pop and all that. And then, they come out helping Epstein. I'm like, dude, no, you're the pedo protector. You know what I mean? And he's like, I could never support Trump. I'm a custodial parent. I could never look my daughter in the eye and say I supported Trump. And then I was like, okay, well, how are you going to look your daughter in the eye and say you supported Epstein then? He's the most dirty of them all. How are you
Or
going to look
Biden or any of them?
Yeah, how are you going to look your daughter in the eye and say you could have had the first female black governor ever in the history of America, but you supported a rich white woman instead? How are you going to look your young black daughter in the eye and tell her that? Because it's better to be a Democrat than it is to support black women achieving things. And it's okay to team up with this well-known pedophile because you don't like this guy over here. And he was like, fuck you. If I see you, it's on site. I'm going to fight you. You're out the league. And he'd already told me because I supported Trump, I'm out the league next year, but I paid my $20 and he didn't even tell me. I just logged in and I am not on the team. Can't get to it. I'm all iced out now.
Oh,
so,
you gotta love it. You gotta love it. So here it is. Ready,
that.
Mike?
Yeah.
This is it. Ready? So this is Valentino
Oh.
before Thanksgiving. Look at all the food that's on that kid's plate. Ready? This is him when it was done.
Yeah, let's go.
Dude, do you see this? That's before. And look at him looking at it like, yo, he's holding his fork right now. Like, I am about to smash this food. And this is him afterwards, like, oh, dude, that was delicious. Just keep shoveling it into my mouth. Like, and it's funny because every time you put the fork in, and you pick it up, his little feet start like clapping together with each other. It is absolutely adorable. But all right, Mike. So let's do this. We've spent 18 minutes. Dude, I could talk to you and we could just go.
I know.
So let's do this. So I did the show, and this is what really spurred this all along. I would like what I did with Mark early on. I would like you to air out your grievances, sir. What on Monday got you mad about my...
What? Nothing mad. You're you're incorrect on it. Your face there. And it's one of those,
How am I incorrect?
You might as well be
sir.
asking if shit wasn't squishy, would it smear when people didn't go to the bathroom and shit on their couch? Well, why does it leave a mess? Okay, fair. We can argue the compound of something, but the idea that if humans didn't shit, there would be no shit stains. Okay, but like, okay. So first of all,
I'm lost. I'm listening to you here. You're saying religion's a shit stain. So we're on the same page.
Let's go. The original question was, without religion, would there be world peace? Okay.
Yeah.
So
if religion didn't exist, would there be world peace? Yes, exactly.
Right. So you have to first go to what is religion, and then you have to go to what is world peace.
I like that. I like where you're going. Okay. So what's religion?
World peace to Hitler. We're going to work backwards, right? Because we're going to destroy the idea of world peace, and then we'll confirm and verify the idea of religion. It's easier to destroy something than to confirm it, right? So world peace is it's the same as me saying it's cold and you saying it's cold, right? I'm from warm places. Hawaii, California, Oklahoma is the coldest place I've lived. And, it's freezing maybe 4 days a year, right? So cold to me is like 40. 40 fucking degrees is cold to me. I know people from up north at 40 degrees, they're literally in shorts still. They're like 40 degrees is not cold. What are you doing in a jacket? This is t-shirt weather still. So world peace to Hitler meant something very different than world peace to Gandhi. Hitler said specifically multiple times his goal was world peace. Karl Marx said his goal was world peace. Mao Zedong killed the most people, made Hitler and Stalin look like underachievers. And that man was decidedly and wholly atheist. That man was as atheist as they get. That man did not believe in any God, thought it was stupid to believe in a God, and thought you should literally die if you dedicated your life to any kind of spiritual practice or endeavor. And that was, as far as we know, one of the most murderous men ever in the history of all. And once again, put the guys that we always say Hitler and those guys to shame with what he did. However, there was no religion involved there, except for killing people who believed in any religion. And then there is the oppression still today in China of the Uyghur Muslims and the Buddhists that they push all the Buddhists way out, right? Tibet, and they push
It's
them way
a
up.
religious. That's another form of religion, though. What they have out there.
What do you mean? The Buddhists?
Oh, the fucking the Chinese. That's to me. That's
They're
all
not allowed
religion.
any so you can mince words, but they're not allowed religion. They're not allowed to worship.
No,
They're
they
not
are, because
allowed.
what is a religion? Because I love where you went, Mike. You went the subjective route, because that's where I go. Everything's subjective. Peace is subjective. That's why I asked the question in the first place. So I love where you're going right off the bat, right? So I guess what I'm asking is, how would you define what peace is?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. First of all, the idea of world peace is a fallacy because once
I don't
again, world peace
fallacy.
world peace
Peace.
is one of the world peace is no, it's a silly idea because it means too many different things to different people. If you have to kill a billion people, okay, so we talk a lot about the takeover of AI. If AI decides world peace is the most important thing and the best way to achieve that is to eliminate humans, then yeah, we can have world peace if we all don't exist. But to Mao Zedong, who did not incorporate any religion, the idea of world peace was killing and oppressing and enslaving people. Same thing with Hitler, same thing with Mussolini. To a lot of people, world peace
So, but
solely means your control. You control people and nobody's fighting you, or you're so powerful that you would hurt anyone that would rise up against you, ergo peace. So for world peace to take place, there would have to be one centralized leader, a religion, right? Because you'd have to worship that king and bow down to
or
him,
agreement,
and he would have to
or
do
agreement upon what peace is. I think so. What you're saying is
world peace. We're
everything
not
trumps.
talking community peace. We're talking world peace. That's the
Yeah,
key.
but community peace and world peace. What you're saying is we can't agree on what peace is. So if we can't agree on what peace is worldwide, we can't agree on what peace is nationwide or locally, right? Because we can't agree on what the definition of the word peace actually even fucking is.
Correct.
So I get where you're going with that.
So the idea of world peace is a fallacy in that it cannot exist. In that
So
there
then
will
peace
never
can't.
be,
So peace can't exist.
because people will always war. Is in the same way. Wait, in the same way, man. Like okay, so I love nature documentaries, right? Attenborough is my
No,
dude.
just hold
If
on
you
real
guys
quick. Peace can't exist, then is what you're saying.
okay, world peace can't exist.
No, if world peace can't
Will
exist,
never exist.
peace itself can't really exist.
Which okay,
Because
but
they're
here's
both
the
the same exact
problem.
thing. Because under your argument, you can't say that one is subjective and the other isn't. Both are. So both either have to be achievable or they're both not achievable.
No, world peace is subjective. Local peace, we have the indicators of, right? So it's not subjective. But let me go back to David Attenborough, right? I love the nature documentaries, the BBC. It's the British dude who talks like this and he follows the big cats and this and that.
Oh, I
Okay.
just hate how those people talk. They kind of
Peace.
just
No, it's just one guy.
say
It's David Attenborough. Look
stupid
up
words
BBC
in stupid
documentaries, David
ways.
Attenborough. Listen, though. Peace is impossible in the wild. Hyenas are going to fight with lions, are going to fight with cheetahs, are going to fight with monkeys, are going to fight with elephants. They're always going to fight for resources and land and space. Now, might there be other resources 100 miles away and they didn't have to fight? Sure. But you got to understand the human being is still an animal. Human beings are still going to fight for resources, God or no, right? In the situation. And I just proved that with Mao in history. God or no, humans are going to fight to hoard resources, not just fight for enough resources where, okay, my family needs 120 grand a year and we can live good and I can get Christmas. No, no, no. I want 120 mil a year, right? So I can take care of my whole crew, right? So, or whatever the case. So humans are animals, and just like all animals, are going to try to protect and hoard their resources. And in the same way that lions can never get along with hyenas because that is true death of both species. Okay,
In
it's the
the
same way that now here's the
circle,
life exactly.
the
But my point is this:
circle.
so you go to the Kapiti Plain in Africa and you look at it going down, and you look at a leopard kill a fucking a what do you call it an impala,
I didn't
right?
think we were animals, bro. I
So
thought
let me
that's what
finish.
religion. I thought that's a
Let
religion.
me finish, dog.
Sorry, go ahead.
So you watch the leopard kill the impala. Then you watch the hyena scare the leopard off the impala, and as it's dragging back, the fucking pack of wild dogs comes and scares the hyena off the kill. And then as the pack of wild dogs are chowing down, two female lion mamas come up and scare the dogs away and then eat it. Okay, so there will never be peace as you're trying to explain or describe. There will never be peace there because that's not the way shit is set up. It's a fallacy to see. Now, is there peace there in that it is working the
So
way it
what
was
has
set up to
religion
work?
done?
Yes. So anyway, well,
So what
almost
has
done
religion
with
done?
peace.
With all that, with everything that you just said, right? I think me and you agree on a lot of stuff. I don't know why you were so upset with what I'm saying
I'm
because
not
you
upset.
sound a hell of a
I
lot like
just knew.
me.
No, I'm not upset. I just know I could destroy your argument. It's not
I
an
don't think you've
angry thing.
destroyed anything. I think you've helped me so far
I
because
know.
feel
I've
I
just
think we're
proven
on
there's
the
no such
exact
thing
same.
as world peace. So the idea that can there be world peace without religion? No, because there's no such thing, and there never will be. The idea that humans have of world peace, because our society, our human animal, the way this world is set up, is not literally not made to provide world peace. It is set up for somebody to have to die, and somebody to have to defend, and somebody to have to protect, and somebody to have to kill. Ergo, you look at Africa, you look at that situation, and it's a perfectly peaceful situation in that it is working exactly the way it's supposed to work, with lions killing hyenas, killing impalas, you know what I mean, and hippos killing them both, and gators killing hippos, or crocodiles killing hippos over there. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Now, that's not peace on an animal level, in the same way that's not peace on a human level, but that is how our world works and how us as animals work. So saying, can
Awesome.
we have something that is it's like saying, can we breathe without oxygen? No, we're not set up to breathe without
So what
oxygen.
you're saying is, let me just 100% lock in what you're saying. You are saying that we were designed as animals. We were designed to kill. We were designed to be like this. We were designed as non-peaceful beings. Are we just clear on what you're saying?
We are, yeah, okay. We are designed to naturally protect, defend, attack, and hoard, ultimately. That is what we are as humans. So therefore, the idea of world peace cannot be attained. And past that, regardless of religion, it can't be attained. And Mao Zedong is a perfect example of that.
Okay, so you're not arguing any religious point. You're arguing the fact that peace cannot be defined, which I fully. The reason why I asked the question, it's a
Because we're
philosophical.
breaking it down. You know what I
No,
mean? We're
but
breaking
this
down
is so hold
peace
on,
and then
listen,
religion.
hold
Yeah, yeah.
on, ready? The reason why I asked the question was for a philosophical
Yeah.
debate, and this is what you're giving me, which I love because you do have this semantic argument. But if when I say things like, "What's religion's role in peace?" If you can't define what peace is, then religion has no role whatsoever. Then it's not creating peace or stopping peace. Okay. And this is one of my problems that I have with religion overall. And this is where I guess the philosophical discussion was going. This is what I do. I'm going to challenge a lot of people's beliefs with this right now. If we are this type of being where we are designed to be like the Christians, I don't understand the concept of we're all flawed individuals and we're all shit and you have to reform and you have to repent and you're a sinner by birth. And I don't understand that concept, because at the same time, they've told me my entire life that I was designed in the image and likeness of God. So what you're telling me is that the image and likeness of God is some piece of shit that is completely flawed that needs to repent. And I wholeheartedly reject that. And I think that type of thought process is what creates the friction that we have, because we have a group of people that believe a certain way, and they believe what a book has told them, and it creates more war, and it creates not peace. So if
Okay.
there was no religion, do you think humans would have just learned how to deal with each other? Because I think we were killing each. I think I'm with you, dude. I think nature, we are fucking each other up, and I think religion came by to say, whoa, 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 everyone, you guys got to stop this horse shit. That's what I think. I think religion was one behavioral modification for the human race. But
I
did it
disagree.
have? Hold on, let me just ask real quick. Did it have that desired effect? Go ahead, fire away.
I disagree. Okay, but let me go back. Like, you said something in the beginning. But let's just go to the we are created in His image, right? Because that is a huge pivot point for everything you just said, right? Is that every man is created, every woman is created in the image of God, which is a brutal miscontext. In the same way that you take 5 minutes, you take 1, 3, 5 to 5 word statement of what you say. I can do this with you. I can do this with you. You do 3 podcasts a week. You don't think I could go? I could take "We are created in His image." You don't think I could take 6 words of yours and completely
What's the
take those out of
context that I'm
complete
missing then, Michael?
context?
What's the
Okay,
context we're
so
missing?
you don't
Because
know.
I know
So
the
you don't know.
context of it.
So you don't
No,
know the
I
context.
studied this in school, bro. Trust me. I
So you
read
do know
3
the
different fucking
context.
versions of the
So
Bible
what's the
and the
context?
Quran.
So you tell me the context then. If we're created in His image, every human is created in the image of Christ.
I'm asking you.
And is there any follow-up
The
to
book
that?
says
Did
that we are made in the image and likeness of God. That means that when Jesus came down, and when you talk about Jesus, He was part of the Trinity, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. He's 3 in 1. Jesus is God. He's part of God. Jesus was God's version of humanity. Okay, so when you have that's being pushed on everybody, we were made in His image,
But an
and
image
His
is not
image is not supposed to be a
and
sinner.
likeness. No. Image and likeness is not a carbon copy. All you're doing is
No, but what you're
misrepresenting
saying is that the
something
essence
to
of humanity
justify
is
your
bad.
error.
No,
Okay,
no, no,
because
no,
what you're
Mike.
saying is we are all supposed to be holy, blameless, Jesus Christ, sinless people because we're made in the image and likeness of Christ. Now,
That's not
even
what I'm
later on,
saying.
wait. Now let me
That's
finish.
not what I'm saying.
Let's take the second half of that, okay? Because
Okay.
what you do, you're really good at breaking down 2 + 2 equals, but you never get to 4. You're really good at
always
going,
get to 4.
well, let's break down 2, and then if we double 1, we come to the Roman
Tell me how I'm not
numeral
getting to
of
4. Get to the meat
2,
of this.
and then plus is an additionary exercise that would add another, which is a duplicate of 2. And then what an equals
Bro, you're
is
getting
telling
off
you,
point.
and what I'm telling you is 4. And you're like, yeah, but let's go back to, and I'm like, no, 4.
Image and
And I'm
likeness.
giving
Get
you
back to image and
specific.
likeness, bro.
Okay, but then past that, did anyone ask Jesus about this in the New Testament if you've read the book so much? And what was Jesus's response to that?
What was it? Tell me, Mike.
Many
I've
are
already
called.
answered this. I've already answered
Many are
your
called.
question. Tell
Many
me.
are called, but few are chosen.
And
Everybody could be better. They choose not to. Everybody in the whole world, because it is meant for everyone in the same way that clean water is meant for everyone. But if they do not drink it, they will die. Okay,
think about
being
what you're
saved,
saying, though.
having a spiritual practice that allows you to be a better human and enriches your life, your community, those around you, helps the people around you, makes for a better planet, and is
That's
badly
great.
needed. And in the absence of that, you are left with nihilism, you are left with Marxism, you are left with self as God, and you are left with Mao, you are left with communism, you are left with slavery, mass murder, abortion. That's what you're left with in the absence of religion and the value of life, therefore, in humans. Because the point I made originally, just like a lion, we're meant to kill the hyena, okay? And
Mike, I don't know
because
what the
humans
fuck
are
you
the
just
ultimate,
said.
because humans are the ultimate, and that's okay. I didn't think you'd get it all. It's high
No,
level
I
stuff.
don't.
But
No,
what I'm saying is,
I'm with you on high level, bro. I'm with you, but this is what you didn't touch on. We said image and likeness, and then you went to 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 4, or I don't get there. I don't know where that took. I don't know where that came into it to be. And then you said everyone could be better.
I told you the
This is
4 of it. No. I
no,
told you the
no.
4
Let
of
me
it.
finish, Mike. Let me finish what I'm saying, bro. Let me
You
just
gotta take my whole context, which was the 4 of it. Is many are called
and
and few are
let's get to the
chosen,
4.
and it's for everyone, but it comes to personal choice.
Yes, but so let's get to the 4 because you say I always leave out the 4. So I'm going to get to my 4.
That's the 4.
No. That's not the 4.
That-
My 4 is the way the number of the 4 that's going to be. Okay, when you talk image and likeness, Mike, and you say everybody can be better, you're starting off from a position of, and you agreed, we are made in this image and likeness. If that image and likeness is essentially not good, that's what you're arguing, that we all could be better. We
What
all
is
need to
good?
improve.
What is good? You're not good to a lot of people. There's a
No,
lot of people who don't
there you
like
go.
you.
Now, but why? So then, what's the Bible mean if you can't define any of these words? Because you're using my arguments
Okay,
against
so
me,
image
and
and
I think
likeness.
I think that's great. What is good? You can't
Now,
define it.
now, and you're hitting Christianity. Let's go Muslim, and let's
I'm
go
hitting
Buddhism.
all of them. I'm not just hitting
No,
Christianity.
so let me finish. So
Muslims
let me hit you with
are a
image and
cult of
likeness.
Christianity.
Let's
It
go
came
image
from
and likeness.
Christianity.
You're not letting me finish. Okay, so let's go. I'm not going to get upset because you're not letting me finish. It's fine.
I'm letting you
Calm
finish
down.
plenty, Mike. Come on, you've cut me off a lot. I've let you talk, bro. Come on, go ahead and just rip.
I'm not saying I'm innocent.
All right, exactly. So no, but Muslim is a cult of Christianity. I'm going at all of them. I go at all religions, bro. I don't give a shit about one or the other over
I'm
the
not
other.
saying you don't. What's frustrating me is you're leaving out huge chunks to manipulate the narrative into what you want it to be.
I don't
instead
believe
of
I
dealing
am.
with the sticky points that knock your narrative down. And
I
you're like,
don't
yeah,
believe I
but,
am.
and I'm like, and I know you don't, and I'm okay, but I'm pointing out that
Mike,
you do.
image and likeness. You can't. So we designed in the image and likeness or not? Like
What
that's
is that?
that's a very
What
basic.
do you
fucking
think
question.
that? But you think that means that because there are bad people, God is a piece of shit?
No, what I
Crazy
mean
way to
is
look
if
at
we
it.
were
What
designed
it means
bad,
is that, you know what it means? It means you have ultimate control. All it means, just like a god, is that you have ultimate control, just like you are a mini god of your home. You create life and then you feed that life, and you could destroy that life, whatever that life ends up being. That life could end up being the president. That life could end up being the #1 assassin for the CIA. You don't know. You're doing your best as a god because you have made the choice and you have created life just like God creates life, just like in multiple religions. The teaching is Hindu, Buddhism, and even Muslim. The ultimate deal is that you basically become a god and rule your own planet. Okay. And for lack of a better way to say it. But the idea is that we are made in his image and likeness is not that we don't do good things, not that we don't do bad things, which are subjective on their face, right? Other than we understand, murder and abuse and rape. But regardless, it is that you ultimately have the ultimate power and decision of life. And to go one further, you have the power and ability to create life, and to go one further, to take life. Only a God has a power to create and take life, or someone who understands that power, right? To create and take more life of their own here on this planet and make that decision. It is not because you got to eat, right? It's not just killing cows, because you got to eat. You can create another human who then creates their own thing. So you are created in the image and likeness of God, in that you can save your world or you can destroy your world. It is up to you. You make the rules and you decide like a god would. That's what that means. Not that you sometimes do good things and sometimes do bad things. And that's why when Jesus said later on, many are called, but few are chosen, I come to divide and tear apart, turn mother against brother, father against son. He meant that you are created in the likeness of God and you have to stand up. And sometimes you have to hang on a cross if you mean what you say and you believe in the power of what you do. That's what You are created in his image and likeness means. That's all I'm saying. Not God's a piece of shit because sometimes bad people do bad things. Because God gave you free will. It is the biggest deal that no one wants to talk about because the most dirty word in 2025 is responsibility and accountability. God gave you the choice. You are your own God. The better you do on this planet in Buddhism and Muslim and Hindu, the better you do on this planet, the higher you are reborn, right? The better you are reborn, the more special and significant your rebirth is. It doesn't mean money necessarily. You could be a high level Buddhist monk who's just, producing goodwill in that religion, right? But then in another life, you're born higher and higher and higher until you ultimately do have rule and control over other people. Because supposedly that's ascending. Because the top thing to be is a God. And what does God have? Ultimate power. He has ultimate power because he knows how to handle and manage that ultimate power. We don't. That's why we do evil and bad things. That's why many are called, but few are chosen.
Okay,
I'll
so I
stop.
think you misunderstand me. I'm not disproving God. I'm talking shit on religion. Okay? This is what everybody misses. And this is my point, Mike. You're talking everything you said, I don't necessarily agree with, but we're talking about the nature of humanity. What are we at our core? What are we at our foundation? And if you're going to sit there, and some Christians do this, and they're going to sit there and call you a sinner and call you bad and say you need to repent your entire fucking life because you're this horrible person, what they're saying to you is God created you horrifically. God created you wrong, but he also created you in his image and likeness. So if you choose to do the right things, you could be like God. But remember, you're born a piece of shit. A lot of Christianity and a lot of sects, this, that is the way, that's what they preach. You are this type of human being. And what I want to know is, why were we made to be bad?
Okay, well, that's incorrect. And I'm not saying no one's ever
That's
said
not
that,
incorrect, Mike.
but that
That's
is
not
incorrect.
incorrect.
Okay, I'm not saying
You're
no one
born a
has.
sinner, yes or no?
I'm not
Are you
saying that.
born a sinner, yes or no? What's the
Okay,
point of being
let me
baptized?
finish. Don't tie me into
No, no,
try
no,
to
no,
get
no,
me to a
because you
yes or
said I
no.
was incorrect,
Because
and
once again,
I want to
no,
dial down to what I was
I didn't say
incorrect
you
about.
were incorrect. I'm saying people saying you're a piece of shit unless you serve God is an incorrect way to
Okay,
frame it and an
sorry.
incorrect
I'm all
statement. I didn't
fired up
say you were
from
incorrect.
earlier.
I said that's incorrect.
I'm
I didn't say
fired
you
up
were
from
incorrect.
earlier. My
I
bad.
said
Okay, I
that's an
misunderstood
incorrect
you.
statement. And I know
Okay.
you don't believe that anyway. That's why I'm going to say that's an incorrect statement. The way I see it personally, right? And I know this isn't there on a debate, but I'm going to explain it and then I'll go into it. And what makes the most sense to me as someone who has, studied and participated in a lot of religions is that the one thing I can tell you is that we're going to die. And that once again, and we've covered this before, everything around us is meant to die. Everything around us is decaying as we speak, including us. And everything around us is becoming less and less efficient and more of a burden all the time by the minute. We are in a decaying world connected to decaying everything, and everything dies. If you don't believe me, when you take a shit, look at that and go, that was delicious food. Everything around me, you know what I mean? At one time is one thing, and then it becomes dust, shit, nothing, right? That's what this world is, and that's what we are
Circle of life, bro. We're part of
as
the circle
humans.
of life.
Agreed.
100%. Huh?
Unless you have a spirit, unless you are in reality a supernatural, for lack of a better term, or a spiritual creature having a human experience.
And
Unless
I think there's a lot of credibility to that, Mike. You will have me locked in with that. I fully, dude, let's take that and say we 100% agree with everywhere you're going to go next. And I fully agree with you. We are having a spiritual experience. What the question at its fucking core, bro, is this: has religion played a positive or negative role on the perception of peace? Now, I get peace can't be defined, but I think we all agree that peace may start when people stop killing each other, right? I don't care what Mao said. I don't care what Hitler said. I don't care what Thanos thinks, okay? Because these guys as sound as their logic may be, their logic may not be part of peace. I think peace revolves around humans not killing other humans. If we start from that concept of what the definition of peace is, humans not killing other humans, can we say that religion has succeeded in stopping humans from killing other humans?
By that definition, no. Well, yes
Okay.
and no. Yes and no. Right? Because
So is that 2
that
plus 2 equals 3 or 5?
neither one. That was
Okay, good. Okay.
2 plus 2 divided by 2 minus 2 equals 7. No, it doesn't. It's not the question to ask. Because I know a lot of Christians who fight against the death penalty. I know the death penalty's been outlawed in many places due to Christians and people believing that. I know Christians who fight valiantly against abortion, right? Which I still believe to this now, we can get into it. And how about, I'll just say I like to say I'm 85 to 90% pro-life. How does that sound? Because I do believe there are certain
I think I'm right there with you. I think there's certain situations where we have to kind of grin and bear it. I hate the fact that it's being used as a form of birth control. I think that's absolutely disgusting. Once again, dude, like I live by Catholic Christian principles. I grew up Catholic. I went to school Catholic. I went to Catholic school my whole life. I went to Catholic college. I went to the college that trains the fucking priests. I went to the guy that trains the priests it was the dude who I took theology from for 2.5 years until I dragged a kid out of his room and smacked him and got kicked out of college. Out of college, you know what I'm talking about? That's the God's honest truth. Obviously, I wasn't living like the Lord wanted me to.
No, I believe you. You're
right. So,
Calder, of all the people, we were talking about this the other day. We were joking around about of all the people you podcast with and mess with and pop. I'm like, I wouldn't mess with Calder. Like, of all the people, if I had to like fight them, he would be the farthest one down the list. I was like, first of all, he's Italian. Second of all, he moves rocks for a living. He literally picks up rocks for a living. Do you know he has that man strength? Like, he doesn't go to the gym. He like picks up big rocks and moves them. I'm like, that's the last man I'd ever want to fight for any reason. And I like to fight.
Believe it or not, I'm actually very well trained too, bro. I grew up fighting, like going to competitions and shit my whole life. But dude, so like but the point is, like, Mike, and thank you, I appreciate.
I know.
That,
sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked. Sorry.
No, you fucking sidetrack the shit out of us. Then I don't care, dude. This is Friday. Everyone knows the deal on Fridays, bro. Fridays is about fun. Fridays is about fucking around. Fridays about having fun. This is what I love about you, bro, because you're not a carbon copy of everything I want. I think, dude. This is why it's a good conversation. Now, I will say, like, listen, my problem is with organized religion. My problem's not with God. It's not with the spirituality of it. I think it's ignorant to think that we're not put here by some type of intelligent design. I mean, you know how I think, bro. When you just talk evolution, just to go real quick, if you believe that theory of evolution where it's one cell and we were all this primordial soup and we came out of that, then that speaks even more to a divine creator, because that cell had to be designed perfectly to create us. It had to be given the ability to evolve and grow and move and adapt to its environment and kill off the things that weren't. I mean, I get what you're saying there, but we can't comprehend what image and likeness even means, right? Like, I fully, you were coming at this, and this is why you did. This is why I fucking love how you come at this, because you come at things like I do. It's a philosophical being, right? So I always say this. In philosophy, nothing can be proven. Nothing can be proven. You ask people what good and bad is, it's subjective. It's an answer that cannot be answered. Plato tried answering it. Socrates tried answering it. Nobody can answer that question. What is good? What is bad? What is peace? What is non-peace?
And don't forget, when Plato and Socrates were trying to answer that question, they also were banging little boys. True story. So let's, you know what I mean? Let everything in context, right? Like, go figure.
But you're exactly 100% right. But the question, because they were fucking little kids, doesn't change the manner in which the question was asked.
Yeah, no. And I just mean,
what is good?
it's
And when you
so
hear
relative.
these guys,
They were not wrong in that it's so relative, right?
yeah, they are
Because if you
they're
ask them back then, is
disgusting.
banging little boys evil? They would be like, no, here's mine.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. As these motherfuckers were ruminating over what is good and what is bad, they're fucking kids in the ass. And everybody in today's world is saying, that's bad, you Epstein ass wannabe
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Death.
Or
You
should we
should
say
have death.
Epstein was wannabe Socrates? I agree with what you're saying, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, I 100% agree with what you're saying. But that's the point.
Yeah. No, you're right.
This is
You're
the
absolutely
fucking
right.
this is the point of all of it. If we accept that religion was created because humans were fucking born horrible, then it hasn't had the desired effect. So were we actually born horrible? Like, that's when I hear that, that's the thing that bothers me, bro. I don't think the majority of humanity was born horrible. I think the majority of humanity was born good. This is what I'm trying to change. I don't think humanity was born horrific. I think the majority of people, the 97% of people, are just born really good, awesome people. And the problem is the 3% that are fucking horrible, bad jerk offs are the ones that assume power. They're the ones that take control. They're the ones that are able to manipulate the 97% of the good motherfuckers. Because you know what? I believe that we were born in the image of likeness of God. I believe we were that. But I don't believe that my God was a fuck up to where I'm a piece of shit to where I have to kill everything in my sight. I believe the God that created me fucking awesome. He created me with a conscience. He's created me to where I could have killed people. You're right, bro. I'm very well trained. If I want to fuck people up, I can. It's like what Dr. Jordan Peterson says. Dr. Jordan Peterson says there's no virtue in a weak man being weak or being calm or being. There's virtue in a man that could really do damage that doesn't.
Correct. Absolutely. By the way,
That's
I
the
have all this
God.
book.
Hold on. Let me just I get. That's the God that I think created me. I don't buy into on this piece of shit. I buy into the reality that I was fucking born awesome. The God who made me, the God who is able to create that little cell that somehow developed into me and you, Michael, having this conversation, did not build us to be pieces of shit. He's built us to be amazing creatures we don't even understand our true potential. You hear people saying that we use 10% of our total potential, whatever. Like our brain and our ability is way past what we even have any concept of. I'm saying this, everything I'm saying, I'm giving whoever fucking created us all of the props in the world because it's genius. And it has to be because they created you and me, bro.
I agree.
So that's my point in this entire thing. If there was no religion, to me, paints similar-minded people against each other. There's similar-minded Jews in my area that aren't a part of everything, but they get sucked into it. There's similar-minded Muslims that aren't a part of the takeover, but they get sucked into it. There's similar-minded Christians that are getting pissed off because they're the only religion that really has been accepting of everybody, and they would never be accepted anywhere they go. But they've accepted everybody because they are better people to their core at their foundation. I do believe that, Mike. But they've been taken advantage of. But we do have good people that don't want to be a part of the craziness, that really want to assimilate into America, but we get sucked in these groups because of religion. So when I ask that question, would there be world peace without religion? The idea was, I get what you're saying, but the idea really was, has religion created any type of peace among people?
And okay, and to me, the honest answer and problem at the same time is yes through war. You know, the yes through war. That's my true answer,
Interesting.
my honest answer, which means I'm
That's what
conceding
I
a bit to
fucking
you,
love.
and I
Yes,
know
dude.
that, but crusades, I mean, when Christians or Muslims or anyone decide we're gonna go fuck shit up and kick ass and build some temples or churches, they do, and then there's peace. Think about America. We had a revolutionary war because, I mean, this country was founded on religious freedom. It gets away from us in the translations, but
I thought we
truthfully,
couldn't define
Chris
peace, though, Mike.
huh?
I thought we couldn't define peace.
I'm saying, okay, we've had not war. How about this? Wait. I should say this, and you're right. I used the wrong term. What I should say is we've had not war, right? Because I can't say that we've had peace, but we've had not war. And we've been able to protect America using Judeo Christian values and principles to where we have not had war on our shore since the Revolutionary War, which was us fighting with ourselves. So, yeah, so can a society based in a religious set of values have or find peace? I believe yes, and I believe America as a
Can't.
whole is an example of that. In that,
We can't do. We can't. We. You know the problem. The problem I see with that is what I'm living through right now. Um, I don't think our founders liked the democracy. I really don't, dude. Like I know everyone wants
constitutional
to.
republic, we're a constitutional republic on purpose, and that is because the democracy is on the local level. So if your mayor, your state representative, your Fed representative messes up, you go lynch that person. And everybody sees you lynch that person and goes,
But you know,
I
it's
have got a
voting.
hardcore obligation to represent these people in the way they voted for me to, or I get lynched.
But
That
voting for your religion. So there needs to be a new amendment to where people cannot vote their favorable religion into office. And you know, once again, Mike, me and you agree on the premise of the Bible, of Christianity. Like put it this way, I think the Bible contradicts itself numerous times, and there's going to be people that debate me with that. But whatever. I think God creates several of the several deadly sins in the Old Testament. But whatever. The point is, dude, we have a situation where religions are able to vote themselves favorable laws based on their religion.
but
And it's
bro, let me
happening.
just
It's happening locally. It's happening like Dearborn, Michigan. They have the Muslim call to prayer. You look at what's happening in my area. When you
Texas.
have pure democracy, you have mob rule, but mob rule happens on the local level, and the local level is the problem. And they've realized this, and religions are taking over localities, and it's only a matter of time until they take over too many localities. And my only point to all of this is if I accept one, I have to accept all of them. Do you disagree with that, bro? Like, I agree with the Christians and the Catholics, but I don't agree with the Jews and the Muslims and the fucking Punjabis and the Buddhists. I don't agree with them. But because I don't agree with them, I can't agree to let my Christianity in either. You feel where I'm going with that?
Yeah, and I mean, and to me, we get like kind of away from the original question and this really tricky, sticky thing, right? Because
That's what it is.
it's
Exactly.
is
Thank
it,
you.
it
Yes.
is it race or religion, right? Because I know enough Muslims, like in Texas, if you look it up, there's a big
You get it, Michael.
yeah, there's a in Texas, there's different Muslims, right? There's Middle Eastern Muslims, and then there's Indian and Pakistani Muslims, and they're very different Muslims, dog. They're just they don't like each other. I mean, they'll like each other enough, but they don't like each other. They don't be trying to work together. But that's the thing. It's like, okay, and in the same way, dude, like me and you go to, wherever, me and you go to Cameroon, we're gonna link up. And if we realize that there is a power source in our religion because that country has laws set up specifically to protect the religion and not make us pay taxes into that country under the heading of religion, Well, it's gonna be, Mike's and Mike's Jesus Factory. Come on in. We'll put a drive-through in and throw out those little Bibles.
Bro,
Let's go.
I want
Right?
to create the first house of Mikeology. I told you this before, dude.
Yes, yes.
I want to create my own religion where we're able to do whatever we want and take advantage of all the fucking laws. Because it seems like you have to be a part of some type of religious group in order to get favorable treatment in America.
Just not Christianity.
Just
As long
not, but
as you're
you're
some
right.
weird. Yeah.
But just not Christianity, right? So no, but you know why? Because Christians and Catholics don't stick together. There's too many different versions of you motherfuckers. And this is the problem that I have with Christians, is because they don't have all the special needs that the Muslims and the Jews have. They don't have the stick-to-itiveness, right? You have a lot of Christians in name only, where they go to church and then they go smoke crack as soon as they get out of choke, and they go beat their wives. I've watched people in I went to church my whole life, and I watched priests molest kids. I've watched pastors have Rolls Royces and shit driving away from their congregation. Sorry. I went down south, and I watched the people of the churches praise Jesus in church and then go home and beat their wives. I've watched some of the worst religious people praise Jesus and not praise Jesus. And you have that shit everywhere, bro. And that's, to me, that's what I'm fighting against. I'm fighting against those fake ass people. And that's what I've been doing from Jump Street. No? What do you think?
Yeah. Well, and and you say that, and I think to myself, man, I agree. And you say that. Hold on, I'm locked up. Am I locked up? Hold on.
No, you're going.
Are you
I hear
there?
you.
I think I locked up.
Yeah.
Are you there? Are you back? Yeah, yeah. No, and I
You're
agree.
going, yeah.
And all I can think to myself is, if we had one of those religions where it was okay to beat your wife, right? Then we'd be good to go. I mean, there are religions where that's part of the practice.
It's called
You know
Muslim.
what I mean? And
It's called
so
Muslim. It's okay to beat their wife. It's okay
not-
to honor, kill their kids, dude. This is the reality of it. And that
I didn't
says
know
that
that.
in there. In what's that?
I didn't
No,
know that part. I legit
so the
did not know they
Muslims,
could kill their
100%.
kids.
There's honor killings. If your wife, depending on how, so put it this way, in some Sharia law, if your daughter over 12 gets educated in any way, shape, or form, that girl could be killed, and it's an honor killing.
Wow.
And it's part of their teaching. It's part of their religion. So this is why I look at it. And you're right. Like what you said in the very beginning, and we'll move on after this. I just want to point this out. You're 100% accurate, Mike. What the fuck is peace? If half the religions out there aren't preaching peace, if your religion dictates that a girl over 12 can't be taught, or she could be killed, or the people teaching her to be killed, that religion's not about peace. That's the whole point of that comment, bro. And I love the fact that you picked up on the fact that world peace is impossible. It is 100%, I agree, impossible. So what the fuck has religion done besides foment more war and more anger and more toxic tribalistic behavior, to where we kill each other over God? Because that's one thing nobody can argue. The far majority of the killings since religion's inception has been over God in some way, some shape, in some form. And I refuse to believe that the God who put us here in his image and likeness created us to do nothing but kill each other unless we repent.
I
Last words on this,
disagree.
Mikey.
I disagree on that, man. I think that I just think that that is the nature, unless you connect to a higher power, unless you connect to your spirituality, unless you understand that you're made for something more and you were born for something more and you reject or abandon that, then yeah, you're just here to kill others. You're here to hoard and amass resources. And we see that in godless people. Even if they say
And there you
God,
go.
if they don't practice the principles
You
of,
fucking nailed it, dude.
so I believe that without a spiritual practice or a belief in a higher power or a connection, because man, I'm just saying, I've stood on the
We were
mountain of
born,
Haleakala. Sorry, go ahead.
Mike, we were born good. I want Christians to change the way they fucking think. We were created fucking awesome.
Yes.
God made us fucking awesome. I am awesome. You are awesome. The people watching here are awesome. I don't care what your gift is. You have it for a fucking reason. You're not a sinner. You're not a piece of shit. You are an awesome human being that has a lot to offer the entire fucking world. And I need the Christians and the Catholics of this fucking of this planet to realize that they were put here for a purpose. And sometimes in their goodness, like you said, fucking people up could be good. When my son came to me and he said, "My dad, I'm being made fun of because of my weight," and I said, "Tell a teacher." Then he came home and said, "I told a teacher. She didn't do anything." All right, tell her again. He told her again. He comes home and says, "Dad, it keeps continuing. She didn't do a fucking thing." I said, "Knock every one of these kids out." And then I get a call. Then I get a call from Mr.
Right.
Blessing. This is a fucking God's honest truth story. "Well, sir, your son's been very honest, and he told me that you told him to knock kids out." I got to tell you, sir, we don't condone that type of behavior here. I said, "Well, I don't. You know what? I don't condone the fact that he tell you that he was told to tell a teacher twice." "Yes, he did." "Okay, so why didn't your teacher do anything?" "Oh, well, there's two of them and all the excuses." "Okay, so if you can't handle it, my son will." I'm not going to have the kid that keeps it inside and shoots up the school in fucking 3 years. I'm going
There
to
you
have a
go.
kid
Yes.
that knocks kids the fuck out. And you know what? He's not going to be punished when he comes home. You suspend him, I'm taking him out for steak and I'm getting him tits in his face because that's how good he did. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, I told
Yes.
Mr. Blessing this. He was like, but sir, no, shut the fuck up. My kid is going to handle it. You handle it or he's going to handle it. And I viewed that as good and he viewed that as bad. So I know exactly where the fuck you're talking about, bro. Sometimes being a very good Christian means fucking people up. And it doesn't make you bad for doing so. It doesn't. So my gripe with this Christian religion is you're fucking weak. Everybody allows every other religion to take advantage of them because they're tolerant. You're tolerant of them, and they are 100% not tolerant of you. And tolerance, I don't give a shit. This is where every Christian goes wrong. Tolerance will only result in intolerance. There is no other result for it. And Christianity is based in tolerance. And that is not what the Bible preaches. It is not what God preaches. And if you look at the fundamentalists, which is Muslim and which is Jewish, they will not tolerate the shit that's going on right now. Period. End of story.
Agreed. I agree with you 100%. It's as somebody who goes to church and is involved in the modern church thing, they have gotten weak. And it I don't know if you pay attention, but a lot of young men are going back to church. And I think that's a great thing. I think the problem is they're not going to find what they want in the modern church because it's become super pussified to the point of I'm walking in like, are these? I mean, And I'm not talking about anybody I know personally, so if anybody's listening, don't come back on me. But look at the average pastor in the average church when you can turn on your YouTube or your TV. These are weak dudes. These aren't the kind of dudes that. Here's my rule, man. If somebody was kicking in my door, if I had a party or if I had a couple people over for dinner, you and your wife, and we're eating, and somebody ended up kicking in my door, who would I want? You know what I mean? To have at my house that I wouldn't have to protect like one of the women. Who would I know would have my back, right? Most of the pastors you see, you're like, that dude would be hiding under the table. My wife would kick ass more than him. And
Yeah.
and they almost
You were
preach
hiding
a
behind the
weakness.
jukebox.
Yeah, exactly. And it's exactly. And they don't. I don't know, man. There's a grit that needs to be there that's just not there anymore. That's why to me you have groypers.
It's
That's why to
turning.
me you have
Yes.
Proud Boys. And
Yes,
because,
dude.
yeah,
Yes.
because it's like I need to be a fucking man. I need to watch a game and drink and be willing to kick some ass if I need to kick some ass.
But the
And
Groypers aren't ass kickers. They're a bunch of fucking pussies, dude.
I know. I just
Nick
mean
Fuentes is the definition of a Ben Shapiro pussy. That's a kid that cannot, like, come on, let's stop with these Groypers, bro. These kids were raised in a soft ass fucking generation. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to create their own little religious cult that's going to follow them like every other religion does. And I'm fighting against that shit. I don't like these people. I don't like any of those people. But I agree with you. At least they're fighting back.
Yeah.
It does start with fighting back, but you cannot fight back with your own religion. I'm going to tell you why. Because we've been doing this same thing for 2,000 years. And he's not the first dude to rally Christians to the Christian cause to fuck up other religions. You're just another person in the cog of the problem. If you look at it, he's just a repetition of this same bullshit problem that we've been seeing for 2,000 years, bro. And it's sometimes, some way, every human being has got to figure out, like, okay, I don't hate you because of what God you worship. I'm not going to take this fucking side, but I get the idea. You feel like you have to. You think there's no other option. Because if you don't fight, you cannot make it in this world. I get all of it, dude. It's incredibly fucking complex. Okay. And I'm not saying you have to not fight. I'm saying the majority of people are 90%, right? You take 93%, the 3% are the ones that are motivated, whether you're Nazi, whether you're Christian, whether you're fucking Jewish, whether you're whatever, I don't care, Muslim. They are the minority. And a lot of the times the minority is the loudest and they get what they want. While the
That's true.
90% take it or leave it and they're not engaged and they don't fucking speak up. And all they had to do was get engaged. And it's the 90% that need to do it because they wouldn't be taken over by these fringe groups. And to me, everybody's fringe.
Yeah, and to that point, that's a problem that they don't realize 90% of what they're dealing with is a psyop. From when they turn on their TV to when they look at their phone, the
Yep.
whole idea is to keep them disengaged and angry, not going to the city hall meetings, not being involved in the mayoral elections, but being angry
Psyops.
about the president. Yeah, they're psyops.
Let's talk about it right now, real quick. These are psyops. You're right. You're fucking dead on, Mike. And this is Trump on the DC shooting.
You blame the Biden administration
because
for
they
what
let
the
him in.
Senate did.
Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And
You're
just asking
fucking
questions because you're
stupid.
stupid.
Okay, but let's talk psyops. I wasn't able to pull this, but Aaron from Aaron Loves America, Aaron Love, he has been on the Two Mics Live show.
Yeah.
He has been on my show, the Caltrop. He is getting an incredible amount of views, and he does some work on Instagram. The guy is a fucking stud. Does the Instagram search and says, you guys got to get your psyops better because why is DC searching this guy's name hours before he commits this atrocity? And I wish I had the video to do it, but Aaron posted it. It's got 1 million fucking views, and he goes, "Hey guys, this is not a timestamp. This isn't the what do you call it? The Eastern time versus it has nothing to do with that. This has to do with they were searching this guy, DC, the District of Columbia, were searching this guy's name before he committed these acts. What does that mean? These are the psyops that you just fucking spoke about, Mike, and he nailed it. This dude is so on top of his game when it comes to that. I highly encourage everybody. He's part of the I Came With Fire guys. Dude,
Yeah.
I went out to those guys because I backed my fucking my old co-host. And I got to tell you something. They knew about my old co-host because of what they do kind of before I did. But you know what? I like the dichotomy we had. I ignored some warning signs. These dudes know their shit. Aaron is fucking on top of his game. Dude, when he posts some shit like that, why is that? Why do you think, Mike? Why do you think that DC was Googling this guy's fucking name before he did anything?
Yeah, man. And why did this guy drive from Washington State to Washington? Little tricks like that. So they're like, he's from Washington and did a thing in Washington. Now, the average person isn't going to dissect because most of the time they just read the headline anyway and then get into a fight about the headline with somebody on Facebook without reading the article. This guy drove from Washington State to Washington, D.C. to shoot these people. It makes no sense. Why would he do that? Right?
Why would he do it? He was an Afghan refugee, came when Mike, do you remember?
But let me finish. Wait. But let me finish this.
Sorry.
If he wanted to hurt soldiers or National Guardsmen in Washington State, and then there's Pendleton, some of the largest Air Force bases in the United States are way closer to him. You're not motivated to drive all the way to D.C. to shoot a couple of people who were raking leaves. Let's break all this down. These National Guardsmen were raking leaves. You would think it's a Democrat's wet dream, as mad as they are. They're like, we're going to take National Guardsmen and we're going to replace their guns with rakes and they're going to beautify the city. That's a Democrat's way. I could see a cartoon and their gun pops and turns into a rake and they're like, now we're cleaning because peace, right? So this dude drove from Washington State to D.C. You can't tell me this wasn't some kind of activation. In the same way, I don't know if you've seen, Tucker did this brilliant 30-minute breakdown of Thomas Matthew Crooks and how the FBI said that he had no online footprint and there's multiple pages and they broke down Google videos he had and the people he was talking
Tucker's
to.
a fucking CIA plant, dude. Why does he have it?
It was still a great art. Look, man, regardless of how you feel about the dude, it was great information and it was great.
He's turning me the fuck off, man. He's turning me off. Honestly, he is 100% turned me off. But I agree with your. What's that?
We'll talk about it later, I guess. How is he turning you off? What did he do? Because I watch his show. Like I'm not taking a couple.
Tucker recently, the Nick Fuentes thing really turned me off. I'm gonna be honest with you because he pretended like he doesn't know what I don't like about what Tucker did is he does this. He's very knowledgeable about all these topics and he plays dumb. He asks these questions like he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. And he leads people to where he gets a desired result, whatever he wants. And you saw a difference in the Ted Cruz debate where he took Ted Cruz to fucking school and asked him question after question after question that cornered Ted Cruz and put him in a corner and made him like defend himself. Then he brings someone like Nick Fuentes on who, dude, you know what? Say what you want about it. He's a little fucking jerk off who really doesn't understand the fucking concept of society. And he's trying to create his own little weird fucking society. And he's gaining a lot of traction with a lot of young people. He is. But why is he out there? And then Tucker Carlson asked him questions, knowing the answer, but leading him into a friendly answer. The way he went about both interviews, I could smell the agenda, bro. Don't claim you're just here to fucking report whatever and get the truth. You're not. You're fucking not. That exposed you. I can't listen to him after that Nick Fuentes shit, dude. He got exposed to me because he was exactly the opposite of what he always claimed he was in the last, ever since the Ted Cruz. It's like he's got a talking to and he's changed.
All right, man. I mean, he left Fox News over 9/11 stuff because they were trying to conceal stuff. He, to me, is now.
We'll see, but why? But why did he do?
I
what
think
he,
what makes you
why did he
mad,
do
bro.
that?
No offense, but I think what makes you mad is that he actually genuinely likes Nick, and you don't. And to see somebody being nice to Nick that
No.
likes Nick, and yeah,
No,
did he go easier
I
on him
want you
than
to
he
go.
did
I
Ted
want you to
Cruz?
go
Sure.
the same way you went at everybody else, bro.
Exactly.
Don't go at Ted
And he-
Cruz if you're not going to go at Nick Fuentes the same exact way. That's a kid that said the N word for the last fucking 3 years and got
But
notoriety
Tucker supports that.
saying that.
But Tucker absolutely supports saying the N word, the F word, the R word. He absolutely supports that. You haven't seen? No, he always has. He's so he's like,
Awesome.
that is free speech, and you shouldn't, stop people from saying it. He absolutely, like, dude, from jump, he's like,
Ex-
I'm not going to
Yes,
say it,
this,
but no one should
but
be punished for saying it.
But hold on, he didn't go after him for it. This is a guy who didn't say it as a joke, said, I can't in good conscience live among black people because it'd be irresponsible. He went after Ted Cruz for his support of Israel, but he didn't go after this kid for his outlandish, ridiculous comments the way he went after Ted Cruz. And if he did that, I would
But now
have
Tucker's
said,
considered an anti-Semite. Now Tucker's being attacked by Israel people,
bro,
and he's considered
I
a big
was called a
anti-Semite.
Jew lover and an anti-Semite all over my fucking interview with Mordecai Bernstein. I get it. I
Yeah,
fucking
right,
get
exactly. But here's the thing: is that what if Tucker? Because I know people like this, and in fact, I know people of color like this, genuinely like black folks and genuinely don't like Jewish folks. And what if Tucker falls into that category where he's
And
like,
he
I like
does.
brothers,
Then be
I don't
fucking
like Jewish
honest.
folks. You know what I
Then
mean?
be honest with it. Don't play
Why
the
would he
middle
do that?
game.
Why would he do that? He's just coming out and being who he is, and
Because
that's why he has his own network.
you claim that you're fucking honest. Like me, I will sit here and say, I don't like the Muslim establishment. I don't like the Jewish establishment. I don't like the Christian establishment. I think the people of these faiths, some are good, some are shit.
Agreed.
Come out and fucking say it. Come out and be a man. Don't be a shill. Don't be some jerk off. Don't claim that my Jesus is the right Jesus and I have this higher moral of fucking authority. That's what these people try doing, dude, and it bothers the shit out of me.
Well,
And they're
I don't think Tucker did that.
they're pushing. The whole concept of today's show was, would there be world peace without religion? And what you're seeing is people like Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes pushing their religion for instability. They're not doing it for stability.
know
They're
about
doing
Nick.
it for
Look,
instability.
I don't know about Nick because I don't listen to Nick on a reg. I have, especially when I was doing that show with Pro. It was
I've
very
heard enough
important.
of that fucking kid where I think it's
But I do
I think
watch Tucker.
he says a lot of shit to be inflammatory, and I love it. I think it's great. I agree with a lot of his stuff, Mike.
Okay, and then and just a couple things. One, I would say don't let all credibility of Tucker Carlson that he's built over 20 years lose because he did one interview you didn't like. But past that, okay, even
When you
past that,
you expose yourself, bro.
Ted Cruz is an elected official that holds legitimate and a lot of power in our country, and especially in a place like Texas, one of our largest and richest states. Nick Fuentes is a podcaster. I'm going to deal with a podcaster way different than one of the most powerful elected officials in the country.
Not me.
I
I'm
will.
going after everybody.
Exactly, and that's where we're
Honestly,
different. But understand it's a different thing. A man who holds more responsibility and can hurt more people with his decisions or help more people with his decisions is a completely different person than a podcaster who said outlandish shit to get listeners or to entice his listeners versus somebody whose words go into the historic public record for 100, 1,000 years from now. You know what I mean? Nick
I
Fuentes is
feel
going
you,
to
but
be just
I
a
really
hated
think
idiot.
I really think
versus Cruz.
that these people, like someone like Nick, in a weird way, Mike, I think has more influence than someone like Ted Cruz amongst people. Like today when we were in that argument with Mark Vasquez, he downplayed my role and my reach and said that his people not coming on the show and not doing the show, it didn't affect their turnout whatsoever when they lost by 400 votes. You had a guy that was telling me that my show didn't matter to them when they lost by 400 votes. Right? And when you have the showing that I have with the amount of people coming up to me and the amount of reach and just the amount of people that are watching this stuff, you had someone tell me that, that you don't fucking matter. You feel where I'm going, dude? It's like,
Bro, I didn't think he said you didn't matter. I felt like he said you didn't matter enough. He didn't say you were useless.
It doesn't matter.
He just said you weren't
That's the
useful
point.
enough.
But that's the point, right? So what you're
You're
telling
like a
me
13 and a half inch wrench. You're not really ever needed, but it's good to have you on the truck if we need people to say they're on our truck. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And that's what the dude tried saying to me. When
I know. I
when
was
the
like, are
other
you
side,
serious?
when the other side won, right?
I know.
The girl, the woman who came on my show stole 2,000 votes above her own council. And they had to be Republican votes because the Democrat votes are voting that way, right? So it's like, it's funny, dude. Like I get back to, I think people like us, when you have these honest conversations and when we speak from the heart, you could pay, let's just put it this way, like the Brick Republican Club touted that they had all these interactions that they paid for. Okay. Oh, the interactions were huge on that. The views were huge. It was amazing. We got so many likes, but you paid for them. So you don't know. It's probably the same 200 people seeing the same thing over and over and over and over. But who has the reach? Who has the grab? Okay? Because when you look at what the Brick Breakdown said, I want divided government. We got it. The Brick Breakdown said that I think the council people are going to win and the mayor is going to win. And the Republican council is going to win. The Republican mayor is going to lose. The Democrat mayor is going to win. And I nail it. And they still look at me and say, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's things like that, dude, where I go, these people downplay the reach of shows like this. You may not, there's so many people that see their name on that like page that don't want to hit like. The majority of people are scared. The majority of people watch. You know how many fucking people I hear say, yo, man, I love what you do. There's people that have asked me questions that I never thought would ever watch my show that are watchers of everything we do, bro. And we don't see it. We don't hear it. We don't recognize
I see
it.
the numbers. Like, it blows me away how inactive your chat is for the numbers, right? Hey, mine is worse, so I'm not criticizing you, but
But what I do is controversial,
watching. Yeah, no, what I'm like, people are watching. Like,
but they
you're
don't
very
want to speak
low
up.
key. You know what I mean? You're not like, I'm a podcaster, blah, blah, blah. But
they don't want to speak up,
people are
dude.
watching. Yeah, man. Yeah,
they don't want to. I get more private messages than I get messages on any of my posts. And honestly, since I've been doing the more local stuff, I've been getting a lot more interaction, which it's great, but what I'm saying is you have views and then you have results and you have reach and you have productivity off of your views, right?
Right.
When I was doing the show with the two mics live and that fucking jerk off and his fucking wife, how many views did we have, Mike? We had 1.2 million views a month. 1.2 million views per month, and it amounted to shit. Nobody recognized me where I went. Nobody.
Right. Correct.
I do one fucking video that goes locally viral, and next thing I know, I have people walking in and saying, and I hear whispers as I'm walking into a room. It's a totally different fucking ball game, bro.
And 2 weeks later,
real views and there's not.
Yeah, well, and 2 weeks later, they're citing your podcast as a source, right? It's like you said on this podcast, this is that. Like,
dude,
I
was mentioned in a different town's council meeting 3 different fucking times on Tuesday. It's so yeah, dude. It's a totally different ball game. There's reach, there's responsibility, and then there's the bullshit that you pay for. And I'm telling you, dude, like none of these guys have a clue. I feel like I'm surrounded by fucking morons, but then you get on and you talk very fucking intelligently. This is why I love having you on, bro. And you make the argument that I would make, and you make me think. And dude, you challenge me. And this is what I'm talking about, bro. The problem is people like us don't want to run for any office because it's not worth it.
I was thinking about city council, man, because I've really this year in the past few months,
You
dude,
should
I've
run,
really
Mike. I'm
adopted.
telling you, you should run.
I've adopted the 10-mile theory. You can really, as a man nowadays, you really can only unless you're like rich or a senator or whatever. You can do the most damage or affect the most good, if you will, in a 10-mile radius from your home. Where you
Yes,
work, where
dude.
you eat, where you
Yes.
go to church, where you volunteer your time if you volunteer, where you
That's what
shop, the
matters.
small businesses you put into, who you vote for mayor, just like you're so involved in that. And I think that's part of my inspiration is watching you, but that's my new thing is the 10-mile rule. Because if every
For
one
real.
of us tried to make 10 miles for the better, we'd have a better country all around. So yeah.
Once again, so my message on Wednesday was take care of me.
Yeah.
Because me is what fucking matters, dude. You have to be the best version of yourself. And if you're the best version of yourself, you're going to be the best version for your town. It's one of those self-fulfilling prophecies. There's so many people that want to change the world without changing themselves.
Yeah.
If you're a piece of shit, you're going to make the world into a piece of shit. This is what I was trying to say to the Republican Club today, dude. Like, you're flawed in your ideas. You're flawed in your thought process. You're flawed in every way, shape, or form. So no matter what you do, it's going to be flawed. And that's the fucking problem, dude. You have to look at yourself and look at everything in a logical, real way. And you do that, dude. And that's why I love you on the show. Listen, everybody, we are way over time. I have been now doing this since 6:15, and I fucking love it, dude. I can talk nonstop. But dude, let me tell you something. Mike, you give me a lot of props. Like you show after show after show, you show your appreciation to me, bro. And I want to say this. What you bring to this show on a Friday night is invaluable to the Caltrop. I hope everybody fingers the fuck out of my like button for you. What you bring is an awesome perspective. It doesn't always agree with me, and it's never afraid to say what you disagree with, and you could do so convincingly, bro. What you give to this show, bro, I think is I hope every single one of the people that are listening appreciate what you bring every single Friday night, because I certainly do, dude. I think you're a fucking stud. I think your ideas on what you're trying to do with your PT pod channel with T-Quan, how do I say his name, bro? T-Quan?
Yeah, T-Cron. It took me
T-Cron.
like a week to figure it out too.
But it's a Q, so it fucks me up, because I want to say Quan, but it's Cron. So I get it, bro. It's T-Cron. And then Mike, dude, and the show Power Sports Time, I think there's not a show on TV on any podcast platform that is like that. Nobody's doing those type of sports. You're a visionary, bro. You're an asset to Center Cut Media and what we're doing here. You're a fucking stud. Really appreciate you, kid. Last words, Mikey. Tell everybody about yourself, bro. What do you have coming up after this? Obviously, I know the Caltrop Re-Streams, but you also have give them the rundown, bro.
Yeah, man, and thank you so much, man. And because of you, man, our numbers are actually off the chart. This month has like almost doubled everything.
It's not because of me, it's because of you, bro. So, stop giving me credit. That you're a fucking stud. You needed to be able to get out. That's it. And we're helping each other.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, man. And did a couple of holiday streams. Gonna do the mega stream tomorrow. Man, the Caltrops are awesome. I got it set up now where you can watch a bunch of Caltrops. It's really cool. I enjoyed watching you. Thanksgiving.
I gotta send you vitriol, bro. You gotta put that. You could play that every Saturday, the vitriol. Yeah, it's 26 minutes. It's fucking awesome. I'm gonna send it to you.
Let's go. And yeah, man. So mega stream tomorrow, and then Monday will be the money show. We talk about crypto finance. Tuesday, if you can make it, always Power Sports Time, where we make fun of the wackiest, funnest sports in the world. Yeah, man. Wednesday we watch Archie's Weird Mysteries. Me and Michael Mann, which we were saying would be the guy we'd all want to beat up, but then you feel bad because he's got muscular
Dude,
dystrophy. What are you gonna
I
do?
love Michael, man. I love when he goes off on his weird fucking sexual tangents, and then you're like, "Can you fucking stop?" Listen. Let me tell you something. That guy, he cracks me up, dude. He fucking cracks me up. And let me tell you something. Nobody, I don't think there's a person on the planet that can handle getting their balls broken like he can. He
Yeah.
can.
Oh yeah.
We give it to him on Tuesdays a little bit, bro. Because he puts him on the tee for us. And if you're gonna put him, I can't not hit it. I'm a baseball player, man. You're gonna tee it up for me. I am Barry Bondsing that shit.
He
Mark
knows.
McGuire, shacking it, whatever you want to call it.
He knows his role. He knows his
He
role.
knows it. He's fucking awesome. I love
Anyway.
Michael Mann, dude. He is you know what, dude? He is a funny fucking asset to your show, and I really mean that. So everybody, listen, dude. You obviously hear PT Pod. This is my man, fucking white ass Mike, Slapmaster Mike, FW Mike, the man Mike, the fucking stud Mike, and he has become a Caltrop, as you can tell, because he
All day,
thinks of
every
life
day.
fucking critically, bro. You have to think of these things in an incredibly critical critical manner and ask questions. Mike, dude, I really appreciate you being a Caltrop. Appreciate you being a part of this. And everybody, listen, figure blast the fuck out of my like button. Go to Mike's page, like his stuff, follow us. Let's create a mountain of Caltrops, dude. Let's get a Caltrop army. Let's get a Caltrop tribe. Let's get so many people that we actually have power, because I'm telling you, it does not take a lot of us to make a difference, especially with what Mike said with his 10-mile rule. Get involved inside 10 miles. Be a Caltrop inside your own 10-mile rule. And you are going to be amazed at what can actually take place when you say, enough's enough. I am going to be the defense mechanism. I am going to be the one who defends this town. And one person can make a difference. One person. I've watched it for myself. Everybody, listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Be a Caltrop. Get involved. This Caltrop is out. Later.